Rahul, let me respond by first commenting on one of the pictures on your show right now, which talks about the US funding Pakistan with military arms. That by itself is a brazen expression of the failure of Mr. Modi's foreign policy. Here is a prime minister who went and campaigned saying, "Ab ki bar Trump sarkar," and poor Mr. Jaishankar had to, in very squeamish, awkward, almost in acute discomfiture, justify that. I mean, and look at it. It is an admission of a foreign policy failure today that America, to whom Mr. Modi's government has, to use a term, literally been on its knees to kind of placate them to give us foreign direct investment, is actually playing footsie with Pakistan. It is, by the way, Mr. Jaishankar, instead of making these comical and churlish comments before the media on the freedom of press in India, should worry about the fact that India today is being talked about in a manner that should concern all of us on the show. Where are we? We are being called an illiberal democracy.
By whom? By whom? By whom? Specify, because it's very important that you specify. By whom?
Yeah. So let me answer.
By whom? The New York Times, the Washington Post? Who?
Well, can I answer?
Tell me.
It is much better. By the way, it's much better than some TV channels and media papers in India, right? So let me just answer you in brief.
No, one second. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do I mean?
You believe that the Indian media is so decrepit that it can't compete internationally? You have such a dim view of your own country that you believe in various sectors it can't compete internationally? What are you saying? I'm not understanding. Who are you? Who are these people?
Rahul Shivshankar,
no, 1 second. Who are these people?
I'll answer you.
Because you're not answering me. Who are these people? You're making this personal, you're turning it around. I'm just asking you a simple question. Who are you talking about who comes out and says the things that you're saying?
Okay.
Who are these institutions?
So why don't you listen to me, Rahul?
Yeah, sure.
I'll answer you, and then we can have a very constructive, meaningful, animated debate.
Yeah, of course.
I respect all the panelists. Let's finish.
Yeah.
Okay. Your question cannot be longer than my answer, for heaven's sake. Number one.
Why can't it be?
No,
Sanjay Jha, why can't it be?
आप इतना interrupt क्यों करते हैं भैया?
I'm only asking you. Don't pass judgment. I've never sat here and said that you have taken up 5 minutes of our time. You haven't. See, so just stick to the facts. Let's get to the facts. Let's discuss the facts. Let's be mature about it. Let's rise above our little peaks and let's get to the facts. Now tell me, who are these people who say India is not an inclusive democracy?
Yeah, okay. You know what? Why don't you do me a favor while I talk, get one of your team to please put on your show, because I can do it in 1 second. India is called an illiberal democracy, an elected autocracy by some of the most respected agencies that evaluate democratic freedom in the world. Do you want to know how many journalists are murdered in India? How many journalists murdered in India don't even get the advantage of the perpetrators being prosecuted? We are the worst in the world. And as a member of the fraternity, Rahul, what the one who so many times on the show tells me, never shoot the messenger.
Sanjay
and you're okay.
Sanjay Jha, when Sanjay Jha, I asked you specifically to name these agencies. Name them.
Yeah, here you are.
Who?
Have you heard of Freedom House?
Do you know about Freedom House?
Oh,
can you put your hand on your heart and say that Freedom House is not an agency, whose own methodology has been questioned around the world, including by the US? Can you not say that?
How many people died for RTI?
Sanjay Jha, so listen to me.
To answer my question,
I thought you would come up with, I thought you would, one second.
You have the data.
Sanjay Jha, please. I thought, listen to me, please. Let's stop falling back on agencies that have been called out, not just by India, by some of the world's leading democracies.
Really?
About being, of course, it's a fact. I can give you all.
My dear friend, the Supreme. Have you heard the Supreme Court on Pegasus?
Excuse me, sir.
Have you heard the Supreme Court on Pegasus?
The Supreme Court.
Are you going to deny the Supreme Court of India?
Sanjay Jha, no one is saying that India is a perfect democracy.
Good, your first admission.
I never said that. I'm only saying that India is on the rise. That it's
It always was on the rise.
One second. At least we didn't have a Supreme Court, sir, that ratified the emergency. Excuse me. At least we didn't have a Supreme Court that ratified the emergency. Don't talk about, tolerance.
Excuse me,
Please,
we have an
don't do that.
undeclared emergency
So let me,
in India.
I don't want to
This
take,
is an
listen, I
emergency
don't want
that
to
has
get
lasted
into
for 96 months.
Sanjay Ji, I don't want to get into a war of words with you. You have an agenda, you're welcome to it. Look, how
I have a
free
view.
Excuse me.
I have a view.
How
You have an
free?
agenda. I have a view.
I'm not holding you in any way responsible. I began this show by saying that a large number of us do not have the agency today, as brainwashed as we are, by the negativity that is flowing out of different components. So,
not at all.
And 1 second.
Not at all.
You must say
not at all.
tonight,
Haven't we had the longest internet shutdown in Kashmir?
Sanjay
Is
Ji,
it a fact or not?
Sanjay Ji,
Is
please.
it a fact or not?
Sanjay Ji,
Haven't we
let
seen
me
human rights
let me
violations,
answer that
lynching
question
deaths,
for you.
under trials in prison?
Not in my own words.
What about your
Not
own
in my-
journalists who are murdered?
Let me finish. Let me answer this on the internet, not in my words, but in Jaishankar's words. You can debate his words. There is a big song and dance. Let me finish. Look, someone else has a point of view. I'm only sharing that point of view with the larger audience. You can shoot it down. See, we are a great democracy. We have Sanjay Jhas, we have the Tehseens who sit here and abuse even the Home Minister. Not a problem.
No, we don't abuse.
Of course,
just call out the
you've said all sorts of things. You said about,
we don't
you said the other day,
language.
spineless,
I think,
someone.
I think he has spine of a molten eclair.
Anyhow, one second.
Prime Minister is an authority.
He has a spine of a molten eclair. That's not abuse.
You've said things in the past, but it's okay. It's fine.
Rahul, the Prime Minister is
you can be as below the belt. You can be as below the belt. It's okay. We're a democracy.
The Prime Minister not being below the belt?
Listen, I didn't speak to you.
Yes, sir, but
Tehseen,
you
please,
quoted me.
I didn't speak to you. You can come in.
Shamshan Kabristan. Just to remind you of the Prime Minister's language.
I'm only saying